Hello, Aggie.
Liz, you're coming back from an excursion.
Yes, I went to the homelands.
You did. You
I
went
went
back
to
to You went
Kansas.
back home to Kansas for your mom's birthday.
Yes.
Tell us what good times.
Yeah, she turned 29 again.
I love it.
It was great.
I love it.
Mhm.
And you hit all the favorite spots.
All the favorite spots, all the pretty views of farms and
How was the weather?
cities. It was pretty nice. There was one day where it was kind of chilly, but for the most part, it was around like 80s. So it was like perfect weather.
Excellent. Well, we're happy to have you back.
Yeah.
Happy to have you back. And we're announcing our second new person,
Yes.
Jazmin.
Jazmin Chacon.
Yes.
Chacon.
Chacon. And you're going to love her.
Yes. I am so excited to meet her.
I'm so excited. She comes with a rich background, and we're going to get into that today. Some of her jobs that she had, Josephine's going to be so jealous of some of her jobs. And her appetite for music is just phenomenal. So we're going to get into that as well. So sit back and relax and enjoy Jazmin. Oh, cue the music. Well, we're here.
Hello. Welcome to the best summer adventure.
Jazmin, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us where you are.
Right now I am in San Antonio, Texas, in my very lovely little bedroom in the corner that I was able to set up in.
Yes.
I love it. So what is your weather like in San Antonio today?
It is so hot.
Oh, it's kind of chilly here today.
Yeah. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, it is so hot. It's like 95 degrees. The sun is shining bright, beautiful but warm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I heard from a little birdie that you've listened to the podcast.
I have. I've been ear spying on everybody else's interviews.
Wow.
I love it.
She's prepared.
She's prepared, and I want to know.
No.
I want it. So tell us. Tell us one of the enlightening things that we said that you were like, oh my goodness, I want to know more about that.
I've mostly just been really enjoying listening to everybody's experiences because most people have either previously worked or are coming back for the summer, but have worked at the Music Man before. So that was really nice to hear people's experiences and all the lovely things that, they talked about having such a great community to work with and having such lovely people to work with, which is always nice coming into a new environment to know that you have a really solid group that's ready to help you succeed and a good team.
Well, that is our hope. That's our hope. And we did do a podcast with Jacqueline.
Yes.
So she was our first
newbie.
And Jazmin. Did we even introduce Jazmin?
This is Jazmin.
So Jazmin this is the official announcement that Jazmin is part of our 2023 cast.
Yes.
Very excited. She was our last hire because we decided after meeting Jazmin to suspend and not hire anyone else.
Yeah.
So even though we had other spots available, we were just like, no.
We just said she's too great. Stop there.
We were like, we didn't. We were like, I think we have enough people. We love our group. Let's not jinx it and bring in someone else. So we're so excited that you're going to be with us this summer.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel so honored.
Aww.
And have you ever been to the Jersey Shore?
I have. I worked a summer contract in Wildwood, New Jersey, at Maury's Piers.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. Tell us
so
about
a little
that.
further south.
Yes, tell us about that opportunity.
It was a fun crew contract with RWS. It was the first set of fun crew contracts that they did. So the idea behind it was that you would do a dual operational and performance role.
Okay.
That did not work out as planned because it was right after COVID hit, and things were kind of opening up again. So the park was severely understaffed. We ended up doing a lot more operational hours, but I really enjoyed it. I was able to make performance opportunities for myself. And I
Okay.
got the nice cushy job of working in the retail store, the gift shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had air conditioning and they were very kind to me and my fellow employees. They gave us like an iPod, so we ran the sound system in the store. So we got a lot of performance out of that. We just ran around singing all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
That's
Okay.
fun.
So what year were you there?
I was there 2021, I think from mid-May to September.
Okay. So about the same time as our contract here at the Music Man. Although for Liz, it's extended way
Yeah.
beyond.
But for Liz, it's just ongoing for forever.
And we love that. I can't say that enough.
So talking about that, then what other contracts and stuff have you done before the Music Man? We want to know all about you.
So I graduated college in 2017. Immediately after graduating college, I came back home to San Antonio, Texas. That's where my parents live. That's where my dad retired. He's former military. And I started working at SeaWorld San Antonio. I was a vocalist for their Christmas show and then an actor that next summer for their Sea Lion High show. And I did the parade with them. I was a dine host with them for their Sesame Street characters, which was a lot of fun. From there, I moved to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and I've worked for them on and off kind of when I'm home. COVID hit then, and my life was destroyed. And I spent a year. When I got hired at SeaWorld, I'd also started working as a birthday party entertainer
Yeah.
for princes and superheroes. So I'd been working kind of that in between all these other jobs, and I did that for a year with just virtual calls, with drive-by parties,
Yeah.
with like standing outside of a window and having parties with children
Oh my
in
goodness.
character.
Wow.
And then 2021 came around. I worked, I think, Mardi Gras season for Six Flags. I got hired at the San Antonio Zoo as an actor educator, which was so much fun. I did that for a couple months. Then I went to Wildwood, New Jersey on my first contract with RWS. I went immediately from there to Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri for another Fun Crew contract. Came home and 2022, I got a contract in Skagway, Alaska for 6 months.
Wow.
So you did do that contract?
I did. It was
Because we've had
absolutely
people that
insane.
went from the Music Man to that contract
hmm
over the years.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, this is. I mean, so
Ah.
so you've done a lot of different types of performing jobs, and I'll speak as Jazmin weren't on the phone with us.
Yes.
Her audition was like mic drop.
Yeah.
It was a mic drop
That's
because
why we had to stop after her.
we did. Because well, why don't you tell us about your process in coming to us?
So I'd actually had the Music Man on my radar for a couple years,
Oh.
and just every time I would go, to fill out I would usually get to like halfway through filling out the application, and something else would happen. I think 2020 COVID happened and everything shut down. 2021, I'd gotten the job offer from the zoo. And so I just kind of always had it on my radar, but it was just the timing wasn't right. It was just the
Right.
timing wasn't the right timing. And this year, I actually had gotten a text from a friend that is living in New York right now, and he was like, "Hey, this is a thing. I think you'd really enjoy it." And I was like, "Okay, maybe this year is the year." So I filmed my audition with the quirkiest songs that I have.
Mhm.
And I sent it off, and I actually thought I didn't get the job.
Oh, really?
I 100%, at the time, it was kind of the season changing for theme park stuff, so I was sending out a bunch of things. I knew that Six Flags was cutting down a lot of actors from our previous season, so I knew that just, life of an actor, start sending out things as soon as you can. And I kept coming back to this, and I was like, I don't think I got it, but maybe I did.
Yeah.
And I waited a little while, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not usually someone who sends like follow-up emails, but I just sent a little email to Josephine and I was like, hey, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure you got everything. Is there anything else you
Yeah.
need?
Mhm.
And that's always good. It's
And
always good to do that. For those of you that are
and
listening out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and so lovely. Immediately was like, yes, I'd love to talk to you. When are you free? And I was like, I am free
Mhm.
always.
Yeah.
Always.
When is good for you? And so I got to speak to Josephine, which was so nice and so lovely. And I kind of transferred through the audition process, which I loved.
Mhm.
I firmly think that kind of callback processes and interview processes should be a little bit longer because it's hard to get a feel for people and how they actually are in a 15-minute, single call.
Yeah, I think that there's, where you came in the process to give you a little insight. In fact, I was just speaking to my best friend, Brian Smith, and speaking to him this morning, and we were talking about the interview process in general. And the question that we were discussing was, is coming into an interview process early in the company's process positive or is it negative? Like, where do you want to be in that time frame? Do you want to be at the beginning? Do you want to be at the end? Do you want to be in the middle? And I'm all had each one of those scenarios has its positives and negatives. But if you are in the beginning of a process, let's say there is one position and there's other people that are being interviewed, it's always great to stay in touch, and to not to pester people, but to be there and send out those notes, send out those the thank you notes or the hey, I'm still here, this is what's going on in my life, your opportunity means something to us, because you never know where we're going to be. I mean, when you came into our process, Jazmin, we were at the end. So we only had, I think we only had, and I may be wrong here, but I think it was our final two female positions were being staffed. And, we loved our group so far, and, you want to make sure it's the right fit for those last spots. So we were being very selective on who we were bringing into the process. And you were definitely the right fit, but you just reaching out to Joe at that time, proved. I mean, I don't remember when you reached out to her, but proved to be positive. And whatever you wrote, you struck a chord. And I remember when Joe got off that call, she said, "Yeah, we found her. We found her next."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Great, schedule." And and I normally, Stephanie is our casting director, is our last stop in the process, and I always try so hard not to give her any
Persuade her.
not to persuade her. Not that she would be persuaded, but I want her to come up with her own view. But it was difficult. It was difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult. So thank you for working your way through that process, and working your way through your song list, which we're going to talk about today. Because
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
we're going to talk about Jazmin's song list, because she is definitely just what's the
She
word?
really went above and beyond. She really
She
did.
did. She took the activity very seriously. And so let me explain to the people out there what we do. So when performers are hired, they're given their own folder per se, and in that folder is all the training stuff, but also all of their music that they'll ultimately sing. But it's a rehearsal folder as well. So we're dropping songs into that folder, and they get to rehearse those or practice those. So when they're going to present, they have their working background tracks. So we asked them to do a spreadsheet. Or why don't you explain what we ask you to do?
What I was told was here's this folder, and we kind of want to know. We'll provide you with songs, but we want to know kind of what you already know and what you think might work or what you have in your book, essentially. And because I'd spent so much time in kind of the same places, because I did work at Six Flags consecutively, I never sang the same songs for auditions because I was determined to not come in with the same song every season when we re-auditioned because we didn't have full contracts. We were hired seasonally. So I put down every possible song that I have ever auditioned with, that I ever sang. I have every Disney song that I did when I was working for my Princess Party company because I sang all those songs live. Anything that I could think of that I had done that I knew and could perform, I threw in there. And I think it was over 100 songs.
Yes.
Yes, it was over 100 songs.
How many songs do people normally have, Aggie? What's like the average?
Okay, well, the average sometimes is 0. Okay, and you know, sometimes people come in and they're so, and the reason why it's 0 is they don't want to be, they don't know what they don't know, so they're not putting themselves out there to say, hey, I would like to sing this song. So that's that group of people that, you know, just they're afraid to put down music because they don't want to get a no, like, no, you're not singing that. But then there's people that put down music that ultimately would never be performed at the Music Man.
Yes.
And I'm not going to give you any examples. You know, people out there know what works and what doesn't work as a, you know, from a customer perspective. And then there's people that just do an average maybe 10 or 11 songs.
Yeah.
And I got Jazmin's list, and it was over 100 songs. And I was determined when I got that list, because I did not give anybody the amount of songs. It's a spreadsheet. You can put down as many as you want. So I was not going to discourage Jazmin to say, wow, you gave me too many songs. In fact, when I texted you the first time after you sent me your list, I was like, wow, that's some list. And I got the sense, because you texted me back immediately, you know, was it too much or whatever? And I was like, by no means was it too much.
Yeah.
I straight up apologized.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
right, yes.
I'm sorry, I just put everything in there.
And, you know, and honestly, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want your stream of consciousness. I want to know who you are, who you think you are. And so I was determined to get through every one of her songs and give feedback on every song that you submitted. And I finished yesterday. It took me a few days, but you know, I went out and listened. There's some music in there that I had never heard before. Did you happen to look at your list after I commented on each song?
I did, and I love your feedback.
Okay. There was one particular song, and I can't remember what it was right now. But I think my comment was, you know, thank you for bringing this to me.
It was from Model Behavior. It was Woman on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It is so good. If you don't know it, go out and Google it. There is a performer, her name is Hannah, that I think from just looking at it, maybe she put it in a cabaret show of hers. And I don't know if it's ultimately appropriate for us to do here, but when I got that from you, it just showed me how deep you are digging for material. And we don't always have to do at the Music Man what people know.
Yeah.
We don't have to give them, and there's a lot of people that say to us when they call, oh, what show would be best for the kids? And I'm always reluctant to say, oh, come to a Disney show or come to I say to people, we're going to do good music at the Music Man. We're going to perform things that are family friendly. You know, expand yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I want songs sometimes to be a first hear for people. I want to be able to do story songs and let the performers take the audience on a journey, and we've done that. So some of your music is wonderful. Some of the things you would never do here, but we're still great music. But you know, I have to tell you, I don't think that you put down. Tell everyone the song that you auditioned with.
So I auditioned with Watch What Happens from Newsies. And then I auditioned with a song called Before You Go from Centaur World, which is a Netflix show, if you haven't seen it. It is a very quirky, kind of a la Steven Universe or Adventure Time animated show with a brilliant cast. A just wonderful Broadway performers and
Yeah.
professional singers, amazing cast with hilarious music. It's very, very quirky and a very good story. And I fell in love with the show. And I was like, I could for sure use these songs for auditions. They're just off of they're the foil of a Disney song without doing a Disney song,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, you sent me down a rabbit hole. I mean, there was one day that I was going through it, and I sat so long listening because it's not only the music that you're giving me, but it's also sending me down paths of other songs that may not fit but are in the same genre. And so I'm listening and going through music. And that afternoon, I got up from my desk and I said to Josephine, I have to learn how to take breaks because I was exhausted. And people, why are you exhausted listening to music? I was. It's not only listening to music. Then you latch onto something. Okay, I'm going to arrange this. So I start arranging a piece.
Yeah.
And it gets to a certain point, and I'm like, oh, I'm not liking how this is coming out.
Yeah.
So then you scrap it and move on. But I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you presenting to us.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be a fun, I'm going to say day because there's so much music that you can present.
A fun day.
And
It's gonna
normally,
be Jazmin's day.
yeah, normally people just present, one song at a time. I don't know if, I want to be able to give you the opportunity to present other things as well. Because I think what Jazmin's going to bring us is the ability to stretch ourselves and to sing different things. And I'm excited for that. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Very. So
speaking of, so when did you get into music? Has it always been like around, or was it college or high school, or?
So I have always loved music. According to my parents, I sang before I could actually speak words. And I'm Puerto Rican, so it was kind of just ingrained in me. Family visits or family holidays, there was always music playing. There was always someone singing. There was always someone playing a guitar. There was always someone playing a piano. And so I kind of grew up with it. And when I was little, I didn't think being a singer was a career. I thought that people had their normal jobs, and then you got to do that afterwards for fun.
Right.
As like little children do. And so my parents have always been very supportive and very loving, and they put me in ballet, they put me in piano lessons. I was in community theater, I did school theater, I did church theater, and but I kind of started professional training when I was around 12. I got my first vocal coach, and that was such a wonderful experience because my first vocal coach is actually English. We were living in England at the time. That was one of our assignments, and so I'd gotten exposed to all this amazing theater on the West End, and they have traveling shows, and just the culture around being a performer there is very different. And I fell in love with it, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And my parents were like, okay, you can do that, but you have to do well in school. And we will that was the payoff of like, you do well in school and we will fully support you 100%. But you have to maintain priorities. And from there, I continued doing choir, I continued doing theater. When we moved to San Antonio, I was very blessed with a wonderful choir teacher who was very supportive, and a wonderful local theater that gave me great opportunities to grow and expand and learn. And then I went to college in LA. Don't do what I did. I applied to a single college, a single performing arts school, and I got in. Thank the Lord, because did not plan that out very well. If I hadn't, I don't know what I would have done. I would have waited a year and applied to more places. But it's always been something that I've wanted to do, and it's always something I enjoyed, and I couldn't I got to the point that someone literally asked me, is there anything else that you would consider doing? And I said no, because there wasn't anything that I could see myself doing long term and fully.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kind of chose the path that I did, because there wasn't anything else for me to do.
I didn't realize that you spent time. I mean, you did tell us that you moved a lot, but during your interview, but I didn't realize that you lived abroad. Did you live anywhere else abroad?
No, I actually have a very unsuccessful career as a military child to begin with. I've lived 3 places.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. I was born and raised in Panama City, Florida. My parents were actually stationed there for 14 years, the same base. They didn't move. I was there until I was about 10. Then we moved to England. We were there for about 5 years, and then we moved to San Antonio.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was very interesting.
What are any expectations that you have about the Music Man?
My kind of biggest expectation is just being in a creative environment. That's something that um, I think talking to everyone in the interview process was something that they really stress, is that this is a creative environment, it's a collaborative environment, it's an environment that we support each other, and that you can always kind of grow and always change and always improve. And that's something I really look forward to. That's something I think is hard to come by in performance jobs as one big piece.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my expectation, and what I'm really excited about is getting to be in a group of people that is excited to do what they're doing and excited to create something.
Yeah, I think I want to give you that. So often, and this is my problem. This is not your problem. So often, I have a task to not only be the creative director, but also, run, the ice cream shop. What's bringing in the money for us all to keep doing what we're doing, and sometimes I do lose sight, and I'm the minutia of a freezer going down and losing ice cream. That's stressful, and then going out and doing a show. The audience doesn't know that that you just had a problem in the back of the shop, and so I need everyone in the group to keep me on point, to continue that creative process, and don't sweat the small stuff. And it's hard, and I've been successful to have people around me that keep me on task, but sometimes I falter and and lose sight of what's important. And what's important is that we stay creative. That's why people come to the Music Band, to see something new each summer, and making us a tradition. So keep me on task this summer, Jazmin. Keep me on task.
I will do my best.
I hope when your parents listen to this, they come and visit, because I need to meet them.
They are planning on it. They are distinctly planning to come and see everybody, and they're very loving and supportive. My parents are great. They'll just be everybody's parents.
That's great. Well, I want to meet them because they sound amazing. You are arriving. I think you said you're driving in, right?
I am. My dad and I are actually driving in.
Fantastic.
So my parents were worried about me making such a long trip by myself. So he's coming with me. He'll stay for, I think, on the 8th, and then the 9th he's flying out.
Great.
So
we're going to get to meet him then.
Exciting.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah,
my mom said she would come, but she would not drive. She would fly and meet us there.
Yeah, it's a long
because
drive.
my mother hates driving long trips.
Fantastic. So give me 3. I mean, you gave me. I'm going to take her being creative on her sand bucket list.
Yeah.
So I don't need 3 in your sand bucket list, but give me two other things that you want to do this summer.
This summer, I would definitely love, and this is more like a personal goal, I would love to film like a mini music video with everybody.
Wow.
Something really fun.
Have you done this before?
Unofficially, and it has been kind of a fun little thing. I try to do something creative with every cast that I do. So Christmas in July.
Yes.
So I do something called Christmas Olympics on every contract that I've been on outside of my home. And it is almost, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the show, kind of like Minute to Win It.
Yes.
I don't know this
So
show.
it's like it is a game show where you have little like challenges and it lasts for a minute and then they kind of compare who wins. So I do that every
Mm-hmm.
contract that I'm on. I put together a Minute to Win It kind of game night. And usually it's either for Christmas if we're on a Christmas contract or Christmas in July if we're on a summer contract. And there are team games, there are individual games. We do gingerbread house building, we do
Oh, I love
races,
this.
and then I go to the Dollar Tree and buy like $70 worth of cheap, not useful prizes and wrap them up, and people get prizes as they go through. And I get the joy of moderating the games.
Well, let me tell you, you and Michaela and Marina are going to get along very well.
Yes.
I've recently gotten texts from them. They want to do as a initial group builder, they want to create a Hungry Hippos game
Oh my
with
goodness.
little
Yes.
scooters
Oh.
and laundry baskets and ping pong balls.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, so you guys are going to get along very well. Oh, that's hey, listen, I'm looking forward to being part of this group.
I'm looking forward to it. They can be the planners, and I'll just sit back and have fun.
That's it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm here for it.
I love it. Well, I love the music video idea, and I go
That's
for
already creative enough.
Yeah.
That's creative checked off.
it. That's great. That's great. Do you have anything else that you've been thinking about that you want to put on that list?
I would just really like to get back into a um kind of a creative mindset, if that makes any sense. I know I've said creativity, but to be back, I think the place that you feel most creative when you kind of are doing musical theater is kind of back in school where they're like, just try everything, just do
Yeah.
anything, just take the chance. And after that, you get kind of put into little boxes and you get complacent where you are, and that's not a bad thing, doing something well. But you lose that drive to push to see if something else works or to push to see if maybe it doesn't work, but hey, I tried it. That was a lot of fun. So I want to get back into that mindset as a performer in general, and especially with other people. I want to do stuff with other people too. I think that that's an opportunity we don't always get when we're doing kind of straight shows or
Yeah.
like theme park shows specifically. You kind of have the same set thing that you do. So getting to do stuff with other people is always fun.
So, because you're an avid listener of the Best
Oh,
Summer
no.
Adventure,
Maybe I shouldn't have said that I've listened to the podcast.
you know that at the end of each podcast we do sprinkling you with questions. So we would
I
would
do.
like to know if you would like to take part in that.
I would love to take part in it.
Yes. Amazing.
Very good. So, can I start this? week?
Yes.
All right. What sound or noise do you love?
I love, this is going to be really weird. I love the sound that giraffes make when they eat.
Wow.
And it
That's
is
like
such a
ASMR.
specific and weird thing.
That is definitely ASMR.
Like, do you like ASMR when people are like eating food or they have like mukbangs?
I've never actually heard it. And I don't know
It's
why this sound is so specifically ingrained in my brain, but I absolutely adore it.
So when
It's
you
probably because I worked with giraffes at the zoo.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
so let's dig into that just a little bit. So you worked at the zoo. Tell us.
I did.
And obviously you worked with giraffes. So tell us what you did with giraffes, and tell us about like a day in the life of your time
So
there.
I worked at the San Antonio Zoo and I was hired as something called an actor educator. So we were actually hired through our education program. And the San Antonio Zoo is very cool. They put a lot of emphasis on education and kind of saving the environment. We have our own preschool and kindergarten that is right outside of the zoo, that is a zoo school. So when I was hired, and that audition process was insane because I made it insane, not because the process was insane. The thing that they asked me to do was come up with a character and using that character, give a 5-minute speech on an animal with some kind of conservation message. So me being me, I chose bats because I think bats are really cool. And I wrote a song on the ukulele about bats. and I sang it to the person that was interviewing me over a Zoom call, like a crazy person.
Well, it got you to the job.
Yeah.
It did get me the job, which I thought was great. And so when I went in, our whole goal was that we would work in our children's area. We had animal ambassadors of our own, nothing kind of crazy, but we had snakes and turtles and skinks and different kinds of animals that we could take out, and we were trained on how to handle them, and we would take out and show them around the zoo. But a big part of our job, which was more of a daily thing, was we would assist in the animal feeding areas or in the butterfly house. So we assisted in the giraffe feeding, we assisted in the flamingo feeding, and then we assisted in the butterfly house. And my favorite thing were our 3 giraffes. And I loved them so much. It was 3 male giraffes, and it was Alan, who was the father, and then his 2 sons, Cosmo and Braden.
And have you gone back to visit them?
I did. I went back this past summer. I went back, and it was a brilliant experience because I brought a friend with me, and I was telling them all the cool facts that I knew about animals in the zoo, because you had to learn all those things. That was
Sure.
part of your job, was that you went around educating people about the animals and about how to conserve their environments and stuff like that. So I got to see people that I'd worked with. I got to feed Cosmo because he came out of hiding to come see me because he was not about feeding that day. And then I don't know what happened, but he came out for us, and I was very excited. But I would do this thing that if I held my hand here, just like kind of right in front of me, open palmed, Cosmo would come and nuzzle my hand. So I wasn't touching him, he was touching me, and that was fine. They didn't care if the giraffes initiated contact. So I did that when I went back to visit, and he came in and kind of nuzzled my hand, and then he licked my hand, which was not fun, because giraffe tongues are weird.
So cute.
Great experience. All right, go ahead.
Flat or sparkling?
I am of the opinion that sparkling water is incorrect.
See,
Sparkling water is incorrect.
That is correct. She's one of my people.
She is. She is one of your people. Who was the last person to inspire you?
Last person to inspire me was actually my friend Alex. He is one of the most creative people I know in my entire life, and he we had this conversation the other day. I'm very into like board games and role-playing games and stuff like that. And he was like, "You could run a game. You could do that." And I was like, "Oh, that's the nicest thing you could have ever said to me, because I don't think I could do that."
What song always gets you on the dance floor?
Ooh. Circus by Britney Spears, mainly because I did a song.
That's a good one.
That is a good song.
We did a dance number to it in one of our Halloween shows at Six Flags, and I will forever remember at least part of that dance.
All right, we want to see that. Who would play the movie of your life?
I would love to have Millie Bobby Brown play the movie of my life.
Wow.
Great choice. Great choice.
So for the last question, we always do a finish the lyric. So I'll give you one word, and then you'll go on with the song. Okay?
Okay.
Your word is dance.
Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody.
I love it.
Amazing.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm counting the days, and hopefully they go by very fast.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to having you here and you being part of this group. And I hope we meet your expectations this summer.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to come, and I'm so excited to meet you all in person.
Yes.
Excellent.
Exciting.
Well, thank you so much for spending the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I am so excited. And I think it's great that people come in and you can learn something from everybody, you know, everywhere that they've been and all their experiences. And yeah.
Yes, she comes to us with a lot of experiences and wants to just keep creating more.
Yeah.
So
I admire that.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And all the like group building games. And she wants to make a video or a movie.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. That's for sure.
I hope everyone buys into it.
Yeah,
Oh, so I just
exciting.
the summer needs to get here.
Yeah, it does.
All right,
Cannot wait.
cannot wait. All right, well, thanks for spending time with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, what do you say? Goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Music Man Singing Ice Cream Shop.
Email us at bsa@themusicman.com.
Ask us questions.
We're excited.
We are so excited. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.